If you're watching this video, you've expressed an interest in learning more about the metric system in the United States of America. Those you may not remember, but the year was, I can't remember the year, it was the early 1970s, and the president was Richard Nixon. Nixon had an idea, had a notion. He thought, why don't I make friends with the most brutal communist dictator on the planet? He chose China. So Nixon went to China. While in China, Nixon was promised many, many things. But what he received were a pair of pandas. Now these pandas were thought to be the start of something big. There was a notion that Nixon would bring the pandas home, and within, I don't know, a few years at least, there'd be so many pandas in this country they'd be giving them away with each tank of gas at Chevron stations. It was a dream. It was a crazy time. Maybe we didn't know much. But it turns out the pandas just weren't that into it, if you know what I mean. So anyway, in exchange for the pandas, Nixon promised to introduce the metric system to the United States of America. And not just introduce the metric system, but do the impossible and teach American children how to convert our American system of measurements, which I think we stole from some other country, probably England, to the metric system. So we spent, I don't know, 5-6 years trying to reconcile the impossible to reconcile. Yes, the English measuring system with the metric system. So you learn ridiculous equations that somehow would give you the right answer when you had 3 feet and you wanted to know how many kilograms that was. I have no idea. But anyway, the amount of time wasted in this rivals anything we've ever wasted time on, including, I don't know, the Kardashians. It's a big deal, very big deal. So that left a bitter, bitter taste in the mouth of many people my age who went through this experience and have suffered ever since from post-traumatic metric system conversion syndrome. And most of us haven't gotten over it, and that's why you mentioned the metric system, and we shut down. We don't want to talk about it. Anyway, so that's what happened with the metric system. In retrospect, they should have just taken away what we had, all our rulers, and given us a new ruler. We would have adapted to the new ruler. Easy enough. Everybody does. You see it time and time again across this world. But they didn't do that. So we end up, anyway, why don't we have the metric system, right? Yeah, good question. So I don't remember, after Nixon, there was another president. Well, there's a guy who was in there for a little while. And then there's another guy, Jimmy Carter, and nobody talks about him. And so then we ignore him. Then Ronald Reagan, he's like an icon now with the conservatives. But he was elected on this campaign of It's Breakfast in America. I don't know. It sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? But I think it tapped into the underlying consensus in this nation that we weren't eating enough bacon, and the idea of It's Breakfast in America was so compelling to people they voted for him and they elected the man. And part of his platform was one of those things people never read, was getting rid of the metric system, or even attempt to the metric system. In fact, you can't even mention it nowadays. So anyway, that's what happened with the metric system. So hopefully this helps you out.